Welcome back to the Super Sports Show here on Radio Free Charlotte. And we continue to roll on now with our 5-question segment, looking ahead to Sunday's Super Bowl, special big game edition of 5 questions. And rolling on now, question number 4. We were talking about Peyton Manning with Ben before the break, and obviously his years of experience in the National Football League, and no one's really questioning whether Peyton Manning has what it takes to compete and to block out the distractions. But on the other side of the ball is Russell Wilson, second season in the National Football League, coming out of NC State. He's had a somewhat of a baseball career as well. He's been in different areas during his life at 25 years of age, 13 years younger than Peyton Manning. It would be easy to look at Russell Wilson, Ben, and say, well, this is someone's coming in, very little experience. Could he possibly crumble on the big stage? But really, to be honest, over the last couple seasons, and certainly what he's done in the postseason this year with Seattle, it's tough to say that. He looks far more experienced than his 25 years of age would lead you to believe. Does he have what it takes on Sunday to go head-to-head, toe-to-toe with Peyton Manning?
Well, I mean, you can compare these two guys by stats, but also compare them by their attitudes. And Russell Wilson's one of the classiest guys in the league. It's hard to hate him, just like Peyton Manning. And I remember going back. I'm from near the Raleigh area, so I would go and see Russell Wilson play at State, and he was a special player to watch. I mean, seeing him play from his freshman year, I always knew he was special. I knew he'd go somewhere in the league. The whole 5'10", too short thing, I don't buy that anymore. If you have the composure that he has and everything. It's hard to go against him. It's hard to pull against him, and I think he does have what it takes, because if you look at what he's done so far, I mean, even throughout the season, I think there's more pressure on Peyton as far as like the Broncos offense relies on him more than the Seahawks offense relies on Russell Wilson.
Right.
There's times where Russell Wilson will throw just for a little over 100 yards in one game.
Yeah.
You know, Broncos need to rely on Peyton throwing up 300, 400 yards a game to make something happen. They have no Sean Moreno, of course, to make great plays on the run, but I think a lot of weight gets put on Marshawn Lynch's back with 12 touchdowns, 1,200 yards rushing and stuff like that. And because, I mean, if you compare the top two receivers for our top receivers from Broncos and Seahawks, Golden Tate only has a little around 900 yards, Thomas near 1,400 yards. So as far as the receiving and quarterback goes for Seahawks, not as much pressure goes on Russell Wilson. So as long as he manages the game well, and I don't want to say he's a game manager, because that's kind of, that could be kind of like an insult to some people.
Right.
I think he's better than that, and he's definitely going to have some great plays. But I think Russell Wilson has what it takes, because the team doesn't rely on him as heavily as does Peyton Manning.
Exactly. Yeah, like I said, Russell Wilson certainly in a position where, as Ben just pointed out, multiple weapons on that squad that can take the pressure off him. But Peyton Manning, it's going to come down to Peyton Manning, that yardage, certain touchdown passes. Really, that offense relies heavily on Peyton Manning. There's been some semblance of a run game this year, but no doubt the offense runs through Peyton and runs through number 18. And you look at the same way at Russell Wilson, a quarterback, as Matt just said, who certainly in the postseason has not had to really throw a lot. Has not had to pass the ball. Like you said, he's given that ball off to Marshawn Lynch. So certainly two quarterbacks with varying levels of being depended upon on this team in terms of what their roles are. So that's certainly an interesting angle as we head into the Super Bowl. And we've talked about the players, talked about the teams, talked about the stats coming in. Now, finally, as everyone's been waiting for, on 5 questions, time to make a prediction for the score. We'll be adventurous and we'll make a prediction. And Matt, we'll start first with you. We haven't heard from Matt yet in this segment. I think he's been taking this time to come up with a score, to make a bold prediction. Matt, your prediction for Super Bowl 48.
So everybody, the Broncos are the favorite. Let's get that out of the way. So
right, exactly.
That said, I'm gonna go out on a limb and go with the Seahawks, 24-14. I mean, what's impressed me with the Seahawks is that their defense. I mean, every playoff game they've been able to hold the opponent.
Right.
And that's in a playoff game. I think it could come down to that. Nothing against Manning. He's had an incredible year.
No.
But you factor the weather in, and again the Seahawks' incredible defense.
Right.
I'm going with them. Seahawks 24-14.
And we'll go to Ben now. Your prediction, Ben, for Super Bowl 48.
I'm kind of similar with you on the score, but might be a little flip with my prediction. I said the Broncos 24-17. I'll go Seahawks an extra field goal in there somewhere. We'll add an extra little 3 points in there somewhere. But I would say the score could be higher, but with the weather and everything, I don't want to give Peyton Manning too many points on the board. I think the Seahawks will get around 14, 17 points, and I mean it's going to be a toss-up. Like I've never seen, or this is the first time in a while where I've seen a matchup where people are just kind of flipping a coin to see who's going to win this game. Right. I mean it's going to be an exciting matchup, and an exciting Sunday night for everyone for sure. So 24-17 Denver Broncos.
All right, well, we got the predictions from the two guys. I'll make a bold prediction as well. Maybe not so bold, really. Matt just talking about the favorites being the Denver Broncos. I'll go Broncos 28-21. So, again, Matt going with the Seahawks 24-14. We want to keep track of all this because probably come Monday, we're going to be I know everyone's going to be ribbing people at the office in terms of what their prediction was. And luckily, though, we don't have any money riding on this, so that's good. I've been going with the Broncos over the Seahawks 24-17. To wrap all this up, to put a bow on this, if you will, we've talked about players, stats, teams, different angles coming into the game. But three things are for certain. In this Super Bowl. There will probably be some Wolfpack faithful up in East Rutherford, New Jersey, coming out to support Russell Wilson. There's going to be Skittles. There's going to be a lot of Skittles. I don't know if they'll be on the field or not, but there will be Skittles. People will be tasting the rainbow at MetLife Stadium. And probably the most obvious one of all, plenty of cries of Omaha. So the three things that we know for certain in Super Bowl XLVIII. We can talk about all the differences coming up. We can talk about all the prognostications, but three things for certain. Wolfpack, Skittles, Omaha. Hashtag that. Put it out on Twitter, whatever you want to do, because those are 3 points, if you will, that are guaranteed as we head into Super Bowl XLVIII. Everyone's excited for the big game. We hope you've enjoyed our in-depth preview. And Ben, you've given us some great insight today, but we can also find you outside of the show. You have a podcast. Tell us where we can hear you.
Yeah, it's Driveway Talk on SoundCloud. Me and a good friend of mine from back home, we've started it. We started it probably around October of last year. We try to do it every weekly show, but exam time came up and Christmas break. We're trying to start back up with it. It's similar to this kind of stuff. We target a lot of college basketball, being from the Triangle area and stuff like that with this, but yeah, Driveway Talk on SoundCloud. Give it a listen if you can. But, again, also listen to the Super Sports Show here in Charlotte.
We appreciate that. And also on Twitter as well. We can also find Ben on Twitter, your handle for everyone. Because
yeah.
It's all right. No, it's all right.
That's right. It's Benji_91. It's BENJI_91. Give it a follow, and most likely I'll follow you back.
Oh, exactly. That's the way Twitter works. Follow someone, they'll follow you back. It's a place of giving. People giving back all the time on Twitter. So, yeah, I definitely want to follow him. And also, you can follow me on Twitter as well, at @_Corey Hodges, talking Niners basketball. I'm at the games covering, thanks to my good friend Matt Jackson for the access there, covering those games, talking Super Bowl. Looking forward to that. I'll be tweeting some photos from a Super Bowl event that me and Matt are attending on Sunday. Looking forward to the big game. And we're also social outside of Twitter. You can follow the Super Sports Show on Facebook at facebook.com/the Super Sports Show, and on Twitter as well, at Super Sports Show. I want to thank my co-host, Matt Jackson, as always, and special guest Ben Johnson for coming in, providing some great insight. Hope you've enjoyed the program. We'll speak to you again next Friday. The Super Sports Show has been a production of Niner Media and Radio Free Charlotte. We leave you now with music from Marvin Gaye, Got to Give It Up.